So when you asked me, like, do you think this is funny? Should I post it?
Before I posted the tweet saying that your pussy was fire, I asked you if you would find it funny, in part because I just in my head assumed this isn't a real relationship. I felt like I understood that you had a situation. I don't actually know the technical details of your situation, but I thought that you had a situation going. So I thought that this had to just be a hookup and that it was being like erroneously reported by the media to be a relationship.
Newly ex of Sean Evans, Melissa Stratton, went on the No Jumper podcast to have an interview with the guy that seemingly destroyed her relationship. And they had a lot of things to say. And in this video, I will talk about why sometimes being ignorant is not always the best option for two people wanting to be together in a public relationship. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Make sure you share, like, and most of all, subscribe.
Yeah, no, for sure.
The average person's not going to really get that.
Yeah. So, that's what I was going to tell you too, that I think like the reason why Sean and I didn't talk a lot about my job and my career and what I was doing in specifics and stuff is I think we were truly trying to get to know each other. I think he really wanted to get to know me. And that's what all of our conversations centered around. We're like who we were as people, you know.
I can see where he's coming from because you are, and this is not to be a dick rider or anything, but you're very beautiful.
Thank you.
And you have a very, very nice personality.
Oh,
and
you.
I do think that, you know, for sure I could see a lot of people to date you. When you're a public figure, it does become a little bit more complicated because then you have to be willing to sort of go through this gauntlet of, you know, a lot of different internet personalities shitting on you and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
The first thing I do want to even point out is that I believe, and in fact, no, I know that Sean Evans is to blame for this whole thing happening because being the man, I know that you approached this woman. She didn't approach you regardless of the fact that she was an ex-adult star. And I was correct because he slid into those DMs. She goes down in the DMs. He slid into those DMs knowing who she was, knowing who she is, and knowing that you can't really change nobody because you're not Jesus and you're not God. And sometimes curiosity can be the death of people because things are already on their track to the end, but sometimes, and I really believe that Adam 22's interference with this may have just pushed that end earlier. So it may not have ended on Valentine's Day, but I'm sure it would have ended probably sometime in the year of 2024. But here's the thing. A lot of people are really curious to get into situations because they're sold on the aesthetics. They're sold on the things that these people can do for them. They're sold on how the person looks. They're sold on how the person looks standing beside them. But when things get public and when some things begin to be exposed for who that person really is, because you failed to do your own research on who that person was and who that person could be, it's up to speculation that Sean Evans didn't even care about what she did or what she has done. And maybe he did like her for her personality, but I'm sorry, your personality doesn't change the fact that her body parts are all over social media.
A couple things. One, I thought we were all friends, acquaintances. You know, I thought he kind of understood your vibe. And then two, like, that is not even the worst thing that people are going to or had said about him and I at that point. So I'm like, if that's the straw that breaks the camel's back, then we got to end this now because it only gets worse. You know what I mean? Like people speculating and saying mean things about what I do and whatever. So
like me saying her pussy is fire is way easier to deal with.
It's on the nice end of the spectrum of
because
crazy
some
things
troll
to say.
is going to say, "Oh, she is a wretched whore," and look at these 10 cum shots that she. You know, there's like a
there
meme
was a
version
podcast
of it.
we were reading the titles of all my Pornhub videos, which is like, ooh, don't do that because all of those titles are like keywords for the algorithm. So it's very graphic. And
Not to mention, I don't know if you do this a lot, but a lot of porn girls, one of their main ways of self-promotion is that they go on Twitter and they say the sluttiest thing they could possibly think of. You don't do too much of that?
No, I don't do too much of that, but I'm sure I have. I'm sure if you deep dive, you'll find some stuff that is pretty wild. So,
and some people say that even though her work is work, there are parts of her emotions or her personality that are preserved for her partner. But is your personality and emotions able to outweigh the fact that you have shared your bodies with different types of men on social media where anybody has access to for the sake of making money? Whatever the reason might be, you may have actually been stranded and needed to make a lot of money, but it doesn't change the fact that to other people it may be something that they do not want to take seriously because it affects their reputation. And let us talk about reputation for a second. A lot of people say that you should not be swayed either or when it comes to making a partner. It all comes down to how you feel and how that person makes you feel about yourself or the relationship. But a bunch of these people are hypocrites because whether they like it or not, reputation matters. Do you know that sometimes somebody can already think a certain way about you and it can hinder your ability to get into some certain rooms because of the people you affiliate yourself with? And there's a saying that goes, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. If that statement is so right and so true for people that you call your friends, what does that say about the person that you choose to be intimate with and share your last name with and share your resources with and share your life with? And sometimes people don't really think about the gravity of that decision when it comes to making a life partner or choosing a life partner. So emotions can change. Today you can feel bad about somebody, tomorrow you can feel good. And some people think they can handle it. But when a guy that you do not respect or is not respected by anybody, Adam22, decides to post something about the person that you're with, or an ex-person that was in the adult industry decides to post something about somebody that you're with, I do not care who you are, you will feel some type of way about that. And there is a reason why people in the adult industry tend to date people that are in the adult industry at the same time, because only them knows what it really takes to handle that type of lifestyle and to handle the type of criticism that will come with that type of lifestyle. Sean Evans changed his mind, and he has every right to change his mind. And even though Adam22 and Melissa are hoping for the day that a porn star can be in a serious committed relationship with a person of high caliber,
You know?
The whole thing about it is that we haven't really seen an adult star in a successful relationship with like an NBA player, a star movie guy, a top level rapper or whatever. And like, you know, certain people, even like a Freddie Gibbs is like pretty well known, and he was in this relationship with Destiny Creams for a period of time, and they ended up having a kid. It didn't end up working out. But I saw how much shit he took for it as a rapper, and it made me kind of like, okay, like we still haven't really found like the guy that's willing to be the porn star husband on a large level. You see the porn star baby daddies. Lana Rhoades got a NBA baby daddy.
It doesn't change the fact that that high person of caliber will have to come to terms with the fact that he or she may never be taken seriously when it comes to the words that they say, because there's some things that you're not willing to do to get a certain level of respect from other people. Adam22, whether you like it or not, doesn't get any respect from people. It's just the truth, because if he was willing to sell his wife for money, do you think he will not sell his own co-worker or himself? I remember when there was this girl I used to talk to, nice girl, and she was a good person, good character. And the minute I found out some affiliations that she had with somebody that I did not like, it immediately turned off my attraction to her instantly. And it works the same for women. Maybe not the same way, but it does, because how many women will cancel a man because of the reputation that he has, or simply because he doesn't have any reputation, because he's not known enough and respected by people. And if he is to be disrespected by people, nobody or no woman will even want him in the first place. So yes, sometimes ignorance is bliss, especially when it comes to the person that you're dealing with and who and what they have done in the past. But it doesn't change the fact that sometimes you must be willing to accept some things. And are you willing to deal with that? Because some people think they can't deal with some things that the people have done in their past, but they really can't.
You know, I want to see Leonardo DiCaprio with like a porn star wife.
Fuck yeah.
He doesn't seem like he's ready to settle down.
Listen, like, we're good people, and I don't think people understand, like, there's this level of like emotional evolution that you go through when you do like sex work or porn, that like you save like the very real side of yourself just for the people that love you. So people think that you're just like hoeing it out for everybody, but it's like, my work is my work, and then a version of me. So
it then comes down to this: if you don't want to deal with something that somebody that you're dating has done, why are you still with the person? And sometimes it creates an emotional mess, because if things don't end well, you're gonna have to fix yourself and sometimes carry your baggage onwards that somebody in the next relationship doesn't have to deal with, or didn't have to deal with if you weren't so careless. Sean Evans may have made a great decision to a lot of people, but it doesn't change the fact that he's dated Melissa Stratton, and this can forever be a type of content that she can milk if she ever wants to, because they never signed an NDA. He was cool with anything, and things didn't work out like that because everybody began to find out who he really was dating and exposing who she really was. So do you expect her not to make money from it? Look at the type of person that you're dating, and look at the type of person you are to even date somebody like that. And this is not to even cast any judgment on the woman, because the woman is completely innocent. She was minding her business. Sean Evans came to find her. So what does this say about things and people in general? If you are not willing to do your research before you seriously commit to somebody in a relationship, and you're not willing to come to that before you choose to make such decisions, then realistically your relationship is going to be determined by a bunch of emotions. And naturally your emotions can change, but what will never change is who the person is, what they have done, and how the public will constantly react to it. Let me know your opinion in the comment section below. I want to know your thoughts on this whole situation and how she's talking about this with the same guy that made fun of Sean Evans in their own relationship. One more thing, subscribe to the channel.